So, a very good afternoon from myself, CSR Skills. I'm joined, as always, by the one, the only, Mr. Matthew Connerbeer. How are you doing today, good sir?
I'm doing good, Rich. Ready for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We saw a rather chaotic race here last season, and I'm hoping we're going to get a repeat of that here this afternoon.
Yeah, last season it was sends left, right, and centre. Of course, that was at the end of the championship. This year we do have a bit of a more of a pick and mix calendar, you could say, and drivers already heading out onto track. And let's stay on board with let's pick Maitland for this one because Maitland does like to go for a few spinalas in terms of qualifying. But this is round 11 of the Republic of Motorsport Championship, and we're at the Yas Marina circuit here in Abu Dhabi, pretty much like the new kind of Monaco, where the millionaire playboys come to party, where they've got yachts moored up alongside in the marina, and you've got that iconic hotel which lights up towards the end of the race as we head into the night. But what are we expecting today, Matt?
Tell you what, I was not expecting today. I'm just looking outside my window, Rich. It's snowing.
Oh yeah, I've had that as well. I was in the garden earlier, doing a few bits, trimming the grass, sun shining down, t-shirt on, and yeah, I come back, it made a coffee, looked outside, and by golly, it was snowing.
It's April, it's snowing. This is not okay. Anyway, back to business. Maitland coming around to start his lap. I'm interested to see what tyres everybody goes for today. I assume we're going to see a lot of soft runners, but it is potentially going to see a couple go to the mediums. It's quite a high tyre wear track, this one. It's also quite painful on the hard tyres, so I don't think we're going to see too many medium hard tracks.
Yeah, it's not a real key battleground in terms of the strategy. I don't think anyway, as we see most of the top contenders coming out on the soft tyre. We expecting a 1 or 2 stop race, Matt?
I don't know, should I have to ask the drivers? It's definitely a mix-up on this one. I was looking in the Discord chats, and they were talking strategies pre-race. Some people reckon you can do a soft medium, some people are saying 2 stops soft medium medium. It's all a bit up in the air, really.
So of course, last season we had the Red Bull team winning this event and also showing great pace in terms of qualifying, and they've really picked up that baton as well heading into the 2021 championship, and they're real strong contenders for this season. How far do you think Red Bull can go in terms of the championship this year, Matt?
Red Bull, I think first of all, we've not seen the best of Checo Perez yet. I think he got a bit unlucky, of course, having to go from the pit lane in Bahrain. I know he was going to be P11 off the start anyway, but he was looking strong in that race, so I think he's definitely going to be there with Verstappen to take on a role, which is going to be key for that Red Bull team. Because one of the things Mercedes have had over them in these past years, Mercedes have got 2 cars running at the front, Red Bull have only had 1. Now it looks like Red Bull are going to get 2 cars up there. And yeah, the Verstappen v Hamilton fight, we've been waiting for it, haven't we? All these years, and I think we're about to get it this season, and only time will tell come out victorious.
Yeah, we've been teased a few times in the past, at the more, shall we say, the more favourable circuits for the Red Bull car, the likes of the Hungarian Grand Prix, where, it is a real last stint dash as Vettel sets the fastest lap time in a Red Bull, a 34.226, and also the Monaco Grand Prix as well, where Lewis was sort of hung out to dry on them tyres, but did defend the lead for his life, screaming at Bono at every opportunity to say his tyres were dead, but still won the Grand Prix. And yeah, I think this year is the year that we're going to see them go toe-to-toe. And this might actually take a lot of energy out of Lewis, and we could see him, if he does just about clinch it, he does a sort of like Nico Rosberg-esque and says, okay, that's enough. I'm getting too old for that. I'm going to retire, put my feet up and get a new range of clothes up, maybe.
Yeah, I think Lewis he's definitely got stuff he would pursue outside of Formula 1, so I could see him retiring maybe a little bit earlier than some would expect, but at the same time, I think if Lewis had a pretty straightforward year like he did last year, where he just dominates the championship, doesn't really have much competition, I could have seen him retiring at the end of this year. But I think if Verstappen's there, and and he's giving him a proper run for his money. He's getting that title fight going. I can see Lewis staying a couple more years.
Yeah, it could do the other effect as well, and reignite that fire, have some real competition, because he did thoroughly enjoy that race last time out. He did say it's great to see the Red Bulls up there. He's been saying it for long enough. We'll see how he's going to be when it comes around the summer break, if he's got any more grey hairs or going bald once again. But yeah, I think Red Bull, they're going to really throw a lot at this car this year. Honda as well, big kudos to them. They've really thrown the kitchen sink at that car as Vettel improves on his second time lap, a 33.291, and yeah, very decent there. But yeah, Honda, of course, pulling out of the sport, everything going over to the Red Bull. Red Bull have purchased all the facilities and also the staff and everything that goes with it, and great to see still having another manufacturer in the sport, because Renault, you'd have to worry about them. Alpine, of course, only supplying one team themselves. Yeah, how long will they stick around for? Because there's a lot of money they're throwing at them.
Yeah, it's a big investment building the engines for a Formula 1 team, and then to not have any of the customers, you could see them potentially going and getting someone else to supply the engines for that Alpine team. But then I don't know who would do that. Maybe Ferrari would, or Mercedes, I don't know. But it would be funny, wouldn't it, if after all these years Alpine have to go to Red Bull. Can we have your engines, please?
No! Christian, no!
No, they're mine.
Or he would, but he'd stick a couple of quite a lot of nails in the cylinders or something, so they would blow up at the first opportunity. So far in qualifying, we've got Vettel, B4, James, Drazzy and D-Money, your top 5, then Yadi Yads, Pez, Ludlow and Aki Yang. And then front half is still to set a lap time, as well as Maitland, who invalidated his first. Lawn is currently on a flyer. Tommy Real is on an outlap, and a nice bit of team play here. Drazzy giving a toe to his teammate Lawn down the back straight, almost compromised Lawn a little bit there, moving it slightly late off the line. But let's stay on board with this Mercedes car and see how he's going to get on. Shame to only see 14 drivers today. We expect to see those numbers boosted back up in the weeks to come. If you're interested in joining the league, please get in touch with ROM B4, ROM James 95 or ROM Celtic as well, and then we'll get you in for a trial and see if you're not a Maldonado, basically. Yeah, that's what they're looking for.
I miss Pastor. He was a legend, really.
Just had that fire, didn't he?
He wanted to win at all costs, and if all costs meant you have to have a crash, you were going to have a crash.
Of course, still one more win than the likes of Hulkenberg and quite a few other decent drivers who never actually got a victory in their career. That iconic race around, where was it, Catalonia, that he got his Grand Prix win. Mr.
Yes, indeed.
What a season
Spanish
that
Grand
was.
Prix 2012. That was a good season, 2012. As Maitland goes on to the provisional point, he's actually matched Vettel's time down to the 1,000. That's mad. Wouldn't be
It's got to be another digit. Because normally it's the first guy to set it, keeps it. Well, interesting.
Yeah. I don't know, unless we've got another spectator glitch, but of course it wouldn't be the first time that has happened in Formula 1. It happened in the 1997 season finale, if I do remember. Schumacher, Hill and Villeneuve all set the exact same lap time.
I mean, you can't script that, can you? You cannot script it. Was it the Japanese Grand Prix or where was it?
That was at Jerez.
Aha, okay.
Yeah, it was of course the race where Schumacher famously tried to once again crash his way into a world championship, but this time didn't quite work out for him.
Yeah, it's one thing you say about Schumacher, he'd win at all costs. And you've seen a bit of a streak with that with Lewis Hamilton, of course, when Rosberg was odds on to win the title. Lewis Hamilton got out in front at this circuit and proceeded to back up Rosberg into his rivals, hoping that they'd have a bit of a ding-dong fight. Maybe Rosberg would come better off. What do you make of that kind of racing?
That kind of, I remember watching that thinking, well, I don't really like this from Lewis, but technically, he's not doing anything wrong. He's not like crashing into Rosberg, he's just backing him up in those key places, and I think Rosberg got a little bit lucky in the sense that it was Vettel in P3 and not the two Red Bulls. Because I think had the Red Bulls been there, Max or Daniel would have had a send. Because that's just, I think Vettel was a bit more respectful and thought, nah, this guy's fighting for a title, I'm not going to make his life too much more difficult.
As a Hamilton fan, I absolutely loved it. I was like, come on, let him get up alongside you and try and squeeze him onto a curb or something. Like, you could do more, Lewis. Come on. You squeeze him out off the circuit or do something. But full credit to Rosberg for beating Lewis Hamilton to that championship that year and creating some iconic images as well around this circuit. As our current standings are Maitland, Vettel, Pez, B. Ford and James, your top 5 with 6.5 minutes remaining of this short qualifying format.
RSF on Vettel on an out lap, Pez on a hot lap. He's not actually hit none on the ERF, so he's not pushing. Or maybe made a mistake out of that first corner. Vettel will be looking to improve his lap because of course the tyres he's on have got 2 laps of wear on them. ROM James comes out of nowhere with the pole position.
Very impressed with James recently, really taking huge strides. And yeah, the top 6, hard to really separate them over the last few races. Nice to see Vettel up there. Got a couple of Red Bulls competing at the top of the order. Yeah, very, very nice to see.
Rick, keep talking, I've got an Oreo in my mouth.
What Oreo in the mouth? He's betrayed his beloved Jaffa cakes for Oreos, I'll have you know. Matt is a serial cheater, and he's, yeah. He's gone to the dark side of the Oreos.
Apologies, my bad. we got Lucky Lambert on a push lap, I do believe. He's on only one on the medium tyres, interestingly. See what he can do. I don't think this will be too much of a time from him then, being the only one on that tyre. Here we go, then Lucky Lambert up to the line. And it is only P14.
So let's have a quick recap in terms of the championship standings. Of course, we've had 10 rounds already. This is round 11 of the championship, and it is ROM B. Ford who leads the way in the driver's standings. He has 188 points. ABR Drazzy moves up to P2 now with 120 points, and with 3 wins to his name now, and also 3 pole positions. Drazzy is definitely a man in form and really stepped up this season. In P3 in the championship, we have Tommy Real on 109 points. He's won 2 races and taken 1 pole position. Then it's CSR Pez. He's not started actually 3 races this season and had 1 DNF, but still on 92 points, down in 4th. And then we've got SLR Dacey, who's shown some great potential again. Not scored points in 4 rounds due to DNFs and DNSs. He's had a couple of pole positions, no wins yet for Dacey, and he's got 87 points to his name. Then we've got Lucky Lambert, James, Lorm, front half, Westerns, Yannians, Maitland, Ludlow, Celtic, Mr. Connerbeer, who's competed in 2 rounds with El Pullen, Stato, Aki Ang. We've got D-Money, Shaney, Vettel, Givads, Dunsworth and Camaro. So we do actually have 24 drivers on the roster. Only 14 competing here today, so I need to switch to another car, I've just noticed. Let's have a look in terms of the constructors fight. This one's a bit closer. So we've got a McLaren out front leading with 195 points, and then Mercedes hot on the heels, 20 points behind on 175. In terms of the top 2, we've got McLaren with 5 wins to their name, and Mercedes have 3. And then we've got Ferrari in P3 on 150 points. They're still in this fight, and they're going steady, consistent throughout the championship on that 150 points. Then it's AlphaTauri, Racing Point, Williams, Haas, Alfa Romeo, Renault and a Red Bull languishing at the back. So yeah, could have a good day at the office here for the Red Bull boys, it seems.
Yeah, you would love to see that for them. I was asked to commentate today, Rich, because they're expecting a close one, a really close race. You just want to look to the top 4, all covered by half a tenth.
Have a look at the
Ford
gap
was
to the leader. Wow.
He was not lying when he said this is going to be a close one. We got Drazzy on a lap and improving currently.
And I expect to see Tommy Real pop up there anytime soon as he comes around the final corner in his Scarlet Ferrari and up to the line, and it's only P10 for him. Only half a second off the pole position, and that looks like it will be it for Tommy Real with not enough time. And here comes Drazzy across the line to take the provisional pole by some margin as well, and that's a 1:33.093 for the Mercedes driver. What a lap there. Can anyone improve? We've got 4 or 5 more drivers on an outlap who are in this fight for the pole position. Can we see who's going to be next across the line, Matt?
There's a Haas coming to the line of Lucky Dan, but potentially on an in-lap. Indeed he is. Several cars on outlaps is the problem. Tommy Real has been validated. Thron Half is on a push lap in P9.
I think James will be one of the first to kick us off on the final flying lap with 1.5 minutes remaining of this short qualifying session. Damn, it was tight, but Drazzy has blown that wide open, Matthew.
Ron Half is improving on his time at the moment, looking to get up there, but absolutely Drazzy, that big lap there. 2 tenths clear now out front. We'll see if anyone can get close to that time. I think there will be drivers getting close. James Maitland and Vettel all still to improve, as is Pez. It's Pez on a lap. Pez is on a lap. There you go. Right on board then with the Red Bull drivers. He now drops it through the chicane. Gets back on the throttle for the short stretch down into the hairpin. Take a late apex, get on the throttle as early as you can, and now go up through the gears one by one. DRS opens now, and you are just blasting down towards the chicane and setting yourself up as best you can. Spot your braking point, hit it hard on the brakes. Keep the car over to the left, set yourself up for the right, don't take too much curb on the exit. It will spit you out into the barriers. Now DRS wide open once again, the second of the 2 back straights. Expect to see a lot of racing down in towards this chicane. Let's see what Pez does here. Use a lot of curb on entry. Slow it down. Again, get all over these 2 curbs. Run the car out nice and wide on the exit. Really abusing those track limits there is Pez as he now flows out and into the final sector. It's 90-degree corner central here. Braking hard for the tightest corner in this final sector. Underneath the hotel now. Get back on the throttle. You can run it up to the barriers on the right hand side. Pez leaving a little bit on the tail there, but pushing it nicely. High speed through the penultimate corner. Final corner. Howard.
Sorry, he's having
After
a
the
few
line is James.
Yeah.
James coming towards the line then. Got the Racing Point pushing as hard as he can. Was P3, stays P3, doesn't improve on his personal best. Next up is RSF1 Vettel, has invalidated. So it will be B Ford next to the line. See what he can do. Through the penultimate corner, how much does he commit? He's not had the best qualifyings so far this season. Can he change that here today? Was on a 33.4, goes fastest on a 32.9, the first driver to get below the 1:33. Good stuff there for the championship leader. We now wait for Yanni Jans to cross the line. He can't improve his position, stays P7. That is qualifying complete, and it is ROM Ford who at the very last has ended his tough qualifying streak and puts his car onto pole position.
What a fantastic end to the qualifying there. We thought Drazzy had it in the bag. Pez went close, but B4 just blew it wide open by going faster by 1.5 tenths of a second to get into the 32s. The only man to do so. What a fantastic lap for the championship leader. Can he convert that in the start of the Grand Prix? It's going to be a tricky one for him here today. Everyone going for the soft tyre throughout the field there, but we're going to see a big mix of strategies come the race. Let's give us a few minutes and we're going to get into the Grand Prix itself good and proper. But let us know your race predictions for this one, with B4 taking pole from Drazzy Pez, and James down in fourth. Then we've got Maitland, Vettel, Yanni Jans, D-Money, front half, and Lorne rounding out the top 10. Disappointing to see Tommy Real all the way down in P11. We'll have a free tyre choice though, of course. Then it's Ludlow, Aki Am, we've got, and Lucky Lambert at the back, sorry. And that is your grid for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here in Yas Marina. And let us know your top 3 predictions.
Sorry, Rich, just trying to put the stream link out in the CSR server, 1 sec.
No problem. Sorry it went quiet for a minute. I tuned into the stream and you was crackling like crazy, so you're as smooth as you want now. I just done another
you love
reset.
to see that. Love to see that.
Nothing worse than when someone is sounds like you're chewing through a cardboard box or something. So yes. As always, thoroughly disappointing to see a dry racetrack. You know, next time we head to the desert, let's put a bit of rain in, shall we? We never see it. You know, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, any of these tracks.
In the Bahrain, it's literally in the name, Bahrain. They're teasing us with it, but we never get any of the precipitation, and I'm not okay with that. So next time, be forward if you're listening. Just throw in there the custom weather. Just don't tell anyone. Let it be a surprise. But just, whoops, rain at the start. Oops, rain again in 15 minutes. You know.
So James has rejoined the session, thankfully. This is an 18-round championship. This is round 11 at Abu Dhabi. And then after this, we head to Australia, then Bahrain. Then we've got the British Grand Prix, Austria, Canada, Spain, and Baku is our season finale this year. And yeah, some nice tracks coming up, man.
Baku is the season finale. That's going to be a good one. Oh, you'd love to see it.
Oh, they're dropping like fries. Front half has now left the session. Not sure if we're missing anything here as we're waiting to gear up for the race starts.
I'm just going to check the Discord. So there's potentially a restart, but don't know. So clear leadership there. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Okay, it is a confirmed restart. Confirmed restart. Back to lobby. Back to lobby. So please quit to the main menu. Spend a few moments looking at a loading screen, and from there, I don't know.
So time to go and fix yourself a drink, maybe grab some Jaffa cakes. We don't do Oreos around here. And yeah, get ready for the race. As race director is just going to call a new session, line up the formation once again, and yeah, get going. That'll be a benefit to top 10, fresh softs for them for the start of the Grand Prix. A bit more of a hindrance for those starting out just outside, but yeah, in terms of strategy here, I'm not sure if it's soft to straight hards, Matt, or with mediums.
I would not want to I would not want to use the hards at this circuit. They are just horrible. It's like driving on ice. I think we're going to see a lot of 2 stops. There's potentially some people who will try the 1 stop. I have seen it done before, but yeah, it will be more likely to see a lot of the 2 stops. Soft, medium, medium. We do have Mr. Munjaclar in the chat. He said, Rich, how dare you diss Oreos? He's not doing it, man, because he didn't like Oreos. He's doing it because I normally eat Jaffa cakes when racing or streaming or breathing. It's kind of, there's just a flow of Jaffa cakes in my house, to be honest. But today I didn't have Jaffa cakes. I had Oreos, and Rich was very disappointed in me. Called me a traitor.
Yeah, thoroughly disappointed. I know you're a Jaffa Cake man, and you've gone to the dark side, Matt. What can I say? Yeah, I hope you learn from this. You come back a better man, and you show your loyalty once again. But here we go. Everyone coming in thick and fast for this one. 50% Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi coming right up.
Skills, we should just grab a seat real quick.
What?
Just come out and spectate, and then last minute, we'll both take a car.
I'll take a Minardi. Or Ukraine.
No, Skills, there's no Minardis on the grid anymore. You can't have that one.
Oh shit. Okay. I'll take a full India.
Alright, good point. I like that thinking from you, Rich. I like that kind of thinking. I'm gonna go in the BMW Sauber.
Oh, nice choice.
So we're not going to take a seat here. We're definitely on the comms. Don't you worry, B4. Don't look to us. Nothing to worry about. We are trained professionals, is what I would say if I was trained. Right, you just wait. All right. I'm ready. There's two William seats. All right, we can go there. Make sure you set up and ready. I'll take the number 1. You take the number 2.
Copy.
Munja Class saying this is the best track. Do we agree with that, Rich?
Well, if you're talking in terms of F1 2021, it's a great track for action, and that's what it was always built to be when it was built. But it just doesn't deliver in terms of this modern era of cars. You just can't get close enough. What could be done in terms of Sector 1? You know, there's a lot of different lines you can take around here as well, Matt, isn't there? Like, it's a very versatile circuit in terms of other racing formulas and that, but we've only seen one layout around here, and just doesn't work.
Do you know what layout I would like? The one where they take out the chicane on the run to the hairpin. Just get rid of it. I don't care that there's not enough runoff and you couldn't build more runoff because they put Ferrari World in the way. Just get rid of the chicane. It doesn't need to be there.
Who needs runoff? Just stick some gravel traps and, you know, maybe a little swamp in the middle. Happy days. You know, look at Monaco. Who needs
Stick a
runoff?
swamp in the middle.
I don't
Trying
know.
to build some Mario Kart over here.
Yeah. A few mushrooms around.
Throw a couple red shells out there, I'll be fine. You know.
Banana skins on the apex, you know, just to make life interesting. Why not?
That would have made the 2016 finale interesting, wouldn't it? And here comes Lewis Hamilton, rounds the final corner. He's dropped a banana skin, and Rosberg's been spun round. Unbelievable scenes.
Here we go. Green light from race control. D-Many has readied up. So quickly, out of spectate.
Alright, go. I'm ready.
Go.
We're joking, of course. We're very responsible people, and we would never disobey the orders. ROM forward. Wait for the last second to do it, Rich. You won't notice.
We need more drivers to ready up. Come on, we need the countdown.
Come on, people. It's just unbelievable. Oh, there we go.
They should
Right.
just give us the safety car. Oh, yeah. If they gave me the safety car, I'd just be coming out every other lap like, hey boys, slow down. You're too far apart. Let's go again.
Would not trust you in the safety car. But like drifting.
It's donut time, boys.
Oh, I've spun. Oh no. It's race time. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Let's get ready to rumble.
I've just looked to my laptop and I've just seen B Ford put a message saying lamb fucking sauce. Like, I'm not quite sure of the context of this, but I guess we're releasing our inner Gordon Ramsay. So that's what we're doing on this one, Rich. We're doing our best Gordon Ramsay impressions all race. So when Maitland's... well, I don't know.
Well, we can't do it without swearing.
That's the thing. I mean, we're going to have to, really. It's only Munjaklar here. He's
He's
uh,
not old enough though. It's
he's
before the
not, is he?
watershed.
Yeah, I
If
heard
it was
he's
after
about
his
8.
bedtime, we could get away with it. But
Good point. Good point. Man, I want you to cover your ears for the entirety of the stream. You got that? All right. Good. Just nearly
bunch
fell
of
off my chair. You really went for it there, Rich. Full commit, full send.
Here we go, just going to have a quick wait. If drivers are listening, get your setups ready because Park Firmate was disabled for that, so you can tweak it. Maybe you've had a quality setup, now you can go a bit more of a race setup. A bit of a cheating way to do it. That's why we'd love to explore the fact, what do you think, guys? Well, if you're listening, about next season using the actual F1 Games League section. Do you think it will work better? Because you can change the standings afterwards if there's penalties, stuff like that. And if we do have an issue like this, you can kick us back out and we can go back in again with the same qualifying standings. I think it's worth exploring, don't you, Matt? We'll just go for it.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just worth experimenting with, just having a go with it. Obviously, you can still keep track of your standings and your things the old way, just in case. Then, if it doesn't work, you switch back to just using unranked lobbies. But I think it's worth having a play around with.
Yeah, we'll definitely give it a go, Joe. Of course, still waiting for an announcement in terms of the new game. Quite late now, isn't it, Matt? But maybe they've got a lot of work on their plate because a number of new circuits to explore, new liveries, probably waiting a little bit as well to work out the performance of the cars. What do you think the hold-ups are?
Yeah, they've probably had a lot of time having to work from home. Everything will be a bit delayed this year. They've had a lot of work on their plate, like you say, putting in the new circuits on the current calendar. They've got to put Imola in, Portimao, and Saudi Arabia in. And Saudi Arabia will, of course, be the hardest because that circuit doesn't even exist. They've just got to kind of do their best, like they had to do with Vietnam. But the other
Vietnam. We didn't get to see Vietnam.
Vietnasty. But the other one, I've heard some rumours, Rich. There might be a couple of classic tracks in there.
Yeah, if you're going to put a couple of classics in, maybe put a couple in that we have recently explored, like Turkey in Istanbul, and maybe the Nürburgring as well would be a good shout, in my opinion, in case we do go there, for instance.
I bet you the ones that they put in will be Hockenheim and Shanghai. Like, I'd be hyped for Hockenheim.
Shanghai already, so like, we've had it.
Yeah, it's not on the next game though, is it though? Like, it's not on the calendar, so I
Yeah,
feel
but
like
that's
it could be
cheating. They've already got it.
exactly.
That's cheating.
Exactly. They could be like, oh yeah, we're giving you classic tracks, and technically Shanghai is now a classic track. It's not on the current calendar, but you could put it in as a classic one. But it's cheating because no one likes Shanghai. We don't want it on the game anymore. We were very happy when we saw it's not on the calendar. Vietnam and China are gone.
Sepang, yes. Give me Sepang any day of the week.
Give us Sepang. Give us Sepang. Sepang and Istanbul Park would be the good ones, I think.
A bit of Korea or the Indian Grand Prix.
I like the Indian one.
Yeah.
India was a good circuit. The Korean one was long. It was a decent track. You had quite a simple first part of it, I seem to remember. Like straights that you could get some racing in on, and then there was a little complicated windy section that would be pain on the tyres, but could still be quite fun to drive. I've just looked up at my TV for the first time in about 5 minutes. We've got a green light, Rich.
Oh, don't worry about that. We're not interested in any racing. What about Brands Hatch?
Point.
How quick do you think they could get around Brands Hatch these days? That would be.
You've got to be bordering sub 60 seconds now, haven't you?
Oh, easily. Easily. Probably
We'll see what we can do. Yeah, because you used to have it on F1 2013. I don't remember what time we used to get back then, but 2013 was a good game. I like that game.
Yeah, didn't they have? Was that the one with Mario Walker in, or was that a different one?
Yeah, they had Murray Walker doing some the classic car sort of commentary lines.
You could have it in black and white as well, couldn't you? I think with the classic cars, or something like that. But here we go.
Yeah.
We do have a race. We can't really be bothered to commentate on it, but let's have a little look anyway. Round 11 of the Republic of Motorsport Championship here at Abu Dhabi, the Yas Marina circuit, and it's that man, the championship leader on pole position. Boring. Let's hope Drazzy in P2 gives him a good fight for his money in that Mercedes. And this is how they line up in the championship: B4, then Drazzy, and then we've got Pez in P3. So we're looking pretty uniform so far. Then James really showing some great pace recently in his racing points in P4. Then on row 3 we've got CSR Maitland. Always build for such expectations. Did get a win yesterday in ABR Tier 1, so maybe buoyed on by that great performance. We've got Vettel in P6, Yannian 7th, and D-Money Dingers in P8. Then it's front half P9, Lorne in P10, and just outside the top 10 we've got Tommy Real, Ludlow, Aki, and Lucky Lambert. How are we looking in terms of strategy? Any mix-ups here?
We got 3 at the back on the mediums. Everyone else has gone for the softs. They'll all have fresh tyres, of course, because we had that lobby restart. But yeah, the back 3 going on the mediums. That's Ludlow, Aki, Amg, and Lucky Lambert. Well, interesting to see how far they take those tyres and how far they take the soft runners. I think they can only do like 5-6 laps on them.
Yeah, definitely looking like a 2-stop race, and you're looking probably soft, medium, medium, or medium, soft, medium, or medium, medium, soft. Depends if we get a safety car at some point. Someone might gamble, roll the dice, and put on that white-walled harder tyre. As Ludlow and Tommy Real, they don't need any temperature in the tyres. They've just skipped the queue and headed to the grid for a cheeky break. As we're going to get ready for round 11 of this championship, we will do the honours, Mr. Matthew Connerbeer, for the start of the Grand Prix.
A couple of weeks since I've done this, but I'm back and I am ready to shout to you about a race start. It's B4 on pole, Drazzy in P2, who is going to be in the lead by the time they get to the first corner. We've got the 5 lights on ahead of the drivers, and we are racing at the Yas Marina circuit, and it's a good start for B4, but a great start for Pez, already storming into P2, going to look to go around the outside into the race lead. We've got a car going off.
James.
That's RM James, but it's Pez side by side with B4 as they run up through the first sector. Pez looking to take the race lead early on, nearly forces B4 off the circuit, but it is Pez who drives into the lead from P3 on the grid. Great start for him. Maitland there in P3 now as well. Good start for both of the CSR guys. Drazzy still fighting him back as they come through the hairpin and onto the back straight. It's Pez who leads from B4, Maitland, Drazzy and Vettel.
They're not pulling any punches. They're absolutely going to send it. And here comes Drazzy. He fancies a move down the straightaway. Of course, no DRS just yet. That'll come after 3 laps of racing. And we can see the other Mercedes in the background having a little look. It was a real shame to see James off there. He's got a little tap, and it was Spinala time for him. And they're still going wheel to wheel. The Alpha Tauri and the Mercedes of Drazzy and Maitland there, as Maitland just gets ahead up into P3, but Drazzy's coming right back up, got the inside line, and he's going to get the job done. In the background, Tommy Real trying to make up places as well, going to send it up the inside of Lorne, and they're still swapping places out front. Drazzy is making his move back into P3. Oh, they're absolutely going at everything.
They're going to have a crash in a minute, and I spoke just as it happened. And Maitland has been spun around. Vettel going off there as well. I think that was in avoidance, just trying to avoid a collision there. Maitland really did not want to give that one up, and unfortunately that's cost him. He's now dropped down to P14, and his tyres will be roasty hot, and he's nearly spun it again, but he's got it together.
And you know, you can't win a race on lap 1, you can certainly throw it in the bin, and that's what we've just seen happen there. So yeah, real sad sight to see as the timing standings are going to do their normal, you know, little shuffle the pack. But B Ford is currently in P2. We've got Pez out front, so we're going to stay on board with the leader. They've got a considerable gap already, Matt, looking back to the chasing pack there.
Yeah, they were rather helped out by Drazzy and Maitland's battle, as I think, is that Vettel who's had a spin? He has. Vettel's dropped down to the back. What's going on there?
What a shame. So many guys showing so much potential. James, Maitland and Vettel, who were in contention for some serious points today, all out already pretty much.
And they're going to need a little bit of luck to get them back up towards the front. If they've got the pace, they should be able to clear this midfield pack. I say midfield pack, it's P3 downwards. Like I was saying, that battle between Maitland and Drazzy just really allowed the two leads just to walk away out front.
And this is the time that we need the keys to the safety car, you know? Put the lights on, get out there, back everyone up.
A couple time penalties as well already from Maitland and Vettel. Not ideal this early on into the race. Not what you want to see. Drazzy will be looking to close up the gap as best he can. The guys ahead of him, because he's now, as DRS gets enabled, he's not in a good position. He's got a whole train of cars behind him with the DRS, and Drazzy's going to have to run without it.
Yeah, he's going to have to look for the undercut pretty early on here to try and break away from this chasing pack and try and get a bit of breathing space. As Tommy Real has had an excellent start up into P7, and he's hot on the heels of D-Money Dingers in P6. We've got another yellow flag and a virtual. Mr. Ludlow. Oh, big shunt there, looks like.
Yeah, I don't know if he's done that on his own or whether he was side by side with someone in that sequence of corners. But he has gone, he is in the barriers, and he is the first retirement of this race, and we're down to 13 runners already. Of course, Maitland and Vettel perhaps maybe would have been hoping for the full safety car. Well, they're saying that they're not really that far off the pack anyway. No one's in position to pit either. Just watch your Delta, boys. Watch the Delta.
Never a full safety car on that. The car is only like sideways on the track, you know. It's easily avoidable.
He's only got his wheel off. He couldn't push it out the way. It's going to take some... We're going to have to get like a crane on track to clear that. But that's fine. That's fine. You only need a virtual for that.
And here we go, back up to racing speed once again on lap 3 of 28 here in Yas Marina, and Pez leads from B Ford and Drazzy in P3. And it looks like B Ford's lost a bit of time, Matt, because Pez has broken the DRS and Drazzy now 1.8 seconds behind P2.
Yeah, not a clean restart then for B Ford. He'll be looking to get back in that DRS range as soon as possible. He'll have to probably use some of his battery just to ensure that, although I can probably imagine Pez will see that he might be about to break the DRS and will just burn up some of his battery and allow himself to pull away a little bit. We'll see if B Ford gets that DRS. The detection point is between the chicane and the hairpin. There's a white line across the circuit. That is the marker. We need to know the gap at that point. See, it's just going to be over a second, I think. No, it is underneath. B Ford does enough, I do believe, to get himself the DRS, and he will be using the DRS. Not going to be close enough to pass, but good to see he's still getting that advantage.
Yeah, look how much he's gained already, half a second down that straightaway, and that will be bad news for Mr. CSR Pez. But we've got a yellow flag, sector 2, and that is...
Maitland, it's gone. He's had a collision with Vettel, I should imagine, on the straight. Surely. To end up in a barrier there, he's now hit the retirement button. So I'm guessing he spun off by colliding with someone, smashed his front wing to pieces, and he's just decided, nah, not anymore.
Aye, aye, aye. Did you see the move? I didn't see the move.
I did not see the move.
Did he send it? Or didn't he send it?
Oh, Justin Vettel's had another spin. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Keep it clean, boys. I was promised a close race. Oh, Vettel's gone again, and he's hit the barriers with his overheating tyres. And the fact is, Red Bull is still, you know, in one piece. It's surprisingly, it's Tommy Real and D-Money going side by side. D-Money's lost several places there. It's potentially making a mistake out of the final corner.
Yeah, with that chasing pack, very easy to do, especially through sector 3 as well. Last corner, very easy to get sideways and almost spinala into the barrier as we've got the first car into the pits. It seems Vettel has retired. So from 14, we're down to 11 already, Matt. Sad to see.
Told you we should have just taken a seat. We've only got 11 drivers to go.
Here comes a move, Lucky Lambert, right under the rear wing as... Oh,
by the way, B Ford's passed Pez. Just thought I'd, throw that one out there.
Yeah, sorry.
B4 got that one done on the main straight, but Pez is coming back at him. He's going to go to the outside for the chicane. It looks like he's going to get this one done. He's ahead into the braking zone, and he has retaken the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Yeah, sorry viewers, we just casually missed that there. There's Lucky Lambert and D-Money are still going ding-dong, and it looks like Dingers is going to come out on top on those soft tyres. Lucky Lambert will be coming into his own now on those mediums and gets good traction out that corner. He's going to power past and up into P8 for Lucky Lambert.
Nice move there for Lucky Lambert. Yeah, the soft tyres will be dying already. They die off really quickly at this circuit. Expect to see the leaders into the pits anytime soon, and just as I say that, B4 comes into the pits. I mean, what can I say? At the start I say these two are going to have a crash, and they did. Now I say expect some of the leaders into the pit soon, and one of them goes in straight away. I'm basically scripting this.
Yeah, Matt with his racing witchcraft, putting a spell on all of the drivers, and the curse of the commentators continues as well for another race. As we've seen, 3 cars already out: Vettel, Maitland and Ludlow. A shame to see some retiring a bit prematurely, I feel, Matt, as you need to stick around towards the end. You never know if a safety car is going to be deployed, and it's going to work in your favour. But lap 6 of 28, and it's going to be a pretty much long drawn out battle here. Front half now promoted up to P3 as he's yet to stop, trying to hunt down Drazzy, who seems to have great pace and has been holding on to that position for some time now. Pez, will we see him react on this lap? Surely though, Matt.
You would expect him to. The only thing I can think of is if Pez feels, okay, Rooney was right behind me, he's going to get the undercut on me anyway, he might decide just to stay out a few laps and go for a slightly different strategy, as Tommy Real puts a move on Yans for P4.
D-Money and James getting very close. D-Money has a big snap of oversteer and it goes off circuit. James now through up into P8. It's going from bad to worse. Surely we're going to see a whole host of cars in pit lane this lap.
Let's have a look then. First of all, Pez, what will he do? Stays out. Drazzy coming in, front half stays out. Tommy Real gets a bit wobbly out the penultimate corner. Stays out. Yans into the pits. Lucky Lambert is going to stay out. Yans in. James stays out. D-Money stays out. Aki and B-Ford obviously staying out.
Yeah, B-Ford's come out into clear air, of course, with such a reduced grid now. And he's gone purple through sector 3. So he's really going to set the world on fire now and be motoring along. And it'll be some, probably already 3 seconds plus up on Pez at this point, so Pez should have the advantage later on. Maybe Pez looking to go soft, medium soft. We're going to find out late in this Grand Prix what his plan exactly is.
Munch Clark, if you're still in the chat, I know you're like a master of the Abu Dhabi circuit. What strategy would you be doing around here? Do let us know, as Aki has now driven past D-Money on the first of the 2 back straights. We'll see if Dingers can fight back on the second of the 2 back straights, but I think he's going to be a bit too far behind. Those soft tyres are just struggling now. I think the rears have definitely gone for D-Money.
Dinger's got no tyres left. Big Dinger's really struggling now. There's Lorne now closing up on Tommy. Expect to see one of these pull the trigger and into pit lane this lap.
See what Pez does. Is he going to stay out again or come in this lap? This lap he is going to come into the pits. So he's done an extra lap just to try and make sure he gets a bit more of an advantage on his fresher tyres. Expect B-Ford to have gotten the undercut. I'd be very surprised if he has not. His front half stays out for at least one more lap. See then, B-Ford, where are you going to come out in comparison to Pez? We expect the race lead. Of course, we don't know if anyone got held in the pits or whatever. B-Ford sets the fastest lap of the race, and he is going to drive straight over Pez. Of course, a very unique pit exit here as it goes under the circuit. That is B-Ford into the net race lead.
What about Drazzy? Is he going to come out ahead of Drazzy? Yes, he has. He lost much ground to him. Seems to have maintained that gap, but yeah, 2.1 seconds behind the net race leader B-Ford, who's currently sitting in P8. And Pez is going to be hoping for some traffic potentially in sector 3 for B-Ford to try and slow his pace down.
You got Munderclass saying the strategy here should be a soft, medium, soft. As the ideal, we'll see how many drivers stick to that.
Yeah, I think by pitting that early, we could potentially see B Ford on a soft medium. We'll have to wait and see.
Only time will tell. Interesting to see how much further these soft runners are going to go, because their tyres will be screaming out right now. We've seen it for D-Money. B Ford is now catching the back of D-Money as well, so potentially some traffic coming up for those who have pitted. We'll see how much of it they have to clear and how much of it just heads into pit lane to get out of their way. Let's start off Thron Half in the next episode of Who Comes Into the Pits. Thron Half is in the pits. Tommy Real is in the pits. Lorne is not in the pits. Lucky Lambert is not in the pits. James is not in the pits. Aki is not in the pits. And D-Money is not in the pits.
It seems like D-Money Dinglers has really extended this stint now. He went through that maybe graining phase on the tyres, but it's hanging on in there. And B Ford right up his gearbox now. Is he going to try and send it into the next braking zone? We're about to find out. As he looks really impatient now. He's going to have a look to the outside, not the place you really want to position your car, as we've got the DRS fast approaching. But B Ford should have this one pretty easily done, as he gets a wider line, gets on the power a lot earlier, and even before the DRS detection deployment zone, he moves himself up into P5, and that's his teammate next up ahead of him. So expect that one to be a free pass.
Yeah, I would not expect Aki Amg to hold up B Ford. Could be a problem for Pez though, having to clear B Ford's teammate. Expect the McLaren to fight that one as hard as he can. As Pez now closing up onto the back of D-Money, but not going to be close enough to get the move done on this back straight, and that could cost him. Now having to follow D-Money on those worn softs all the way through this final sector. Is look at the McLaren side by side.
Squeeze
him.
him.
He's going to get his elbows out, and Aki has just backed up out of that one. Yeah, they were probably racing there as Aki's nearly gone into the back. Oh, Pez, you madman! Pez! I think he got the send on D-Money. Wasn't ready for Aki to be slow on the outside, as D-Money's still hanging on in there with Pez. Now Pez is ahead. But yeah, Pez sending it on D-Money. Wasn't expecting there to be a McLaren moving so slowly on the outside, and just tapped the side of him. I hope that's not given Pez any damage.
We'll keep a close eye on that, as Drazzy's now closing up on D-Money, of course, on different strategies here. And Pez all over the rear wing of Aki. He's doing a sterling job of holding him up. And Aki going tight. Pez just going to have to position his car, but he's losing a lot of time now. B Ford now 2.9 seconds up the road, and he's fast approaching James, who's yet to stop.
Pez was definitely close enough and had the speed advantage to have a go into the chicane, but I think he just wanted to wait and get the DRS on this back straight, which he has now got, and he will breeze past the McLaren. Drazzy in the background clears D-Money as well. Yeah, look at that. B Ford already now ahead of James. He's got a big advantage now to Pez.
And Drazzy should get this move done as well. Drazzy's box for those mediums. Only 2 laps old to Aki's 9. He's going to go the long way round.
Oh, contact! And that's Drazzy having to go off the circuit. Aki will maintain the position. Watch for D-Money having a look as well. Couldn't get anything done there. I don't know whose fault that was. Whether that was Drazzy turning in, Aki maybe leaving his nose in a gap he shouldn't have, or what happened. But nonetheless, Drazzy's got it done now.
Big kick of oversteer there for Aki. Maybe just overheated his tyres in the last few corners there, as we've got Lorne into pit lane. Pez picks up a penalty.
That's crucial. CSR Pez with a 3-second time penalty. And now B Ford will be looking to keep it clean. Let me just check the B Ford warning count real quick. He's got 2 warnings, or both picked up on lap 10.
That would have been when he was navigating traffic, maybe using a bit more of the runoff.
Yeah, absolutely, but he's just going to have to keep it clean now for the rest of this race to ensure he does not pick up a time penalty, because if he doesn't pick one up, it's definitely his race to lose.
As We've got a nice battle here. Aki, D-Money and front half. D-Money 10 laps on the soft tyre. What is he waiting for? Trying to go one stop maybe?
He's going to one stop it. Currently now dropping down into P7 by the looks of it. Was going to fight back though. Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh no, like a crash. Yeah, I would expect him in the pits pretty soon for a set of mediums to go to the end. You can do it here. I did say pre-race. You can one stop it. It's quite painful. D-Money now down into P9. With everyone ahead of him got one stop left to go, so
Nice battle
it's
there
not really
for
working
Tommy and Yanni. Damn, Tommy up to 7th, sorry Matt.
Yeah, there's some nice clean racing between them. You do love to see that. We've seen a little bit too much argy-bargy so far, I would say.
Some overly opportunistic moves, shall we say. A bit too eager, lads.
Yeah, Maitland. I mean, yeah, Maitland. D-Money finally takes a trip to pit lane.
Down into turn 1, front half's going to go up the inside. Oh, it's going to squeeze Aki wide, and he gets the job done. What a move from front half there. Again, nice racing.
That was committed, wasn't it? Good stuff. Tommy Real now all over the back of Aki. He's going to send it into the chicane. And that is Tommy Real up into P6 and now straight onto the back of front half. Who, if you just want to look at the battery deployment a second, Rich, front half has got hardly anything left in that battery. Tommy Real is just vibing at 40%.
Aki's going to lose about 3 positions in 1 lap. Look at this. You know, Yannian's in the Renault up the inside. I think it's better of it. It's going to try and get good traction out of the next corner. Yeah, they're all struggling for battery here. Yeah, front half has emptied the tank and some. B Ford close to the race lead now. Lucky Lambert started the race on those tyres. Gone very deep.
I'm interested to see what Lucky Lambert does as well. I'm guessing he's going to try and one stop it. Yeah. Oh, no, he's boxing now. Never mind. Commentator's curse does it again. Lucky Lambert pulls into pit lane for, I'm going to assume, a set of softs. And he has just cleared RMB Ford and CSR pairs back into P1 and P2.
Yeah, Pez
see what Lambert puts on.
2.6 seconds now behind. It was around 3.4 after they got through the traffic. Pez really turning the wick up now. Knows he needs to go hard and fast, and has got 2 lap younger tyres, so he's going to really have to make them pay and use their full potential in this next stint.
Interestingly, Lucky Lambert puts the hard tyres on, as has James. Not something I would have recommended here. They're very painful, very low grip, especially in that final sector. You will really feel that loss of time on the hard tyres, but they are, I think, right now the only tyre that would comfortably take you to the end of the race if you've already used mediums for your first stint.
D-Money opted for the mediums, and again he's going to be suffering with those in the probably lap 14 and 15 of that stint.
Yeah, we'll see. I think they can get to the end, but I think it'll just be really difficult for him. Struggling a lot with tyre wear at the end, you would expect. God, they've all spread out a bit now, haven't they? It's all chilling out.
Yeah, this is like your typical Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. This kind of delta time. You know, not much going on. This is more in keeping with actual F1.
Can't be dealing with that. Come on, lads. I was told to commentate today because it's going to be a really close race. I'm not seeing that right now.
So we hit the halfway mark. Lap 14 of 28 in Yas Marina. B4, your championship leader, leads Pez from Drazi, who's 2.2 seconds behind and clean of penalties so far. Let's hope he stays that way. And then the front half, 4th, Tommy Real 5th, Yannian 6th, Lawn 7th, Lambert and 8th. James back up to 9th after his early incident. Very sad to see. And Aki with the final points scoring position and now on soft tyres.
Is just slowly bringing that gap down to the leader. It was 3 seconds, it's now down to 2.1. The gap to ROM Ford. We'll see how that evolves through the rest of this race. Perez showing good pace on his 2-lap fresher medium tyres. You've got to remember that, of course, as with a slight tyre advantage.
Yeah, he'll be able to take a few more liberties as well, as you know, he's already had a penalty. He'll be allowed a few more strikes before he does get one. Ford will be nursing that car to the finish and trying to stay penalty free, as the gap's now down to 1.8 seconds, as we see James closing on Lucky Lambert in the battle for P8. And this is a battle of the hard-ons.
Rich loves a good hard-on. Brazzy with a 3-second time penalty.
He's taking huge chunks. 1.4 seconds now.
He's on the charge, is CSR Perez, and he's closing up that gap to RMB Ford, looking to get in the DRS. He's using a lot of battery, I think, on his attempt to close up. Yeah, he knows that once he's in the DRS, he doesn't have to use so much. He can then save his battery and have a go later on.
Yeah, and he'll be feeling the effects now of that slipstream as well, being so close to him. Of course, the car out front, he's got thick air in front of him, and he'll be punching a hole through it. And Pez will just be like a fish, a small fish behind the shark, just in his wake, trying to use that slipstream effect, as the gap now 1.001 seconds as they come down the back straight.
It's just outside of the DRS range, going on to the second back straight. But yeah, we'll see what they can do through the final sector. That will be the key to see whether Pez can get into DRS range for the next lap. James fairly close to the back of Lucky Lambert, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to have a go on this lap. He'll have to tuck him behind for at least one more run.
Drazzy's hanging on in there. I did say, you know, he's in a good position without a penalty, and I've just realised he did get a penalty, so I do apologise for that, Drazzy. You can blame me entirely for you getting a penalty there in P3.
Always blame Rich, that's what I do. You know, it's CSR on Monday, I have a bad strategy call. Oh, Rich, why didn't you tell me that was a bad strategy call? Or I pick up a time penalty. Rich, I told you, repaint the white lines before the race. You haven't listened once again.
As Pez on this lap will have the DRS to really charge up towards B Ford, and Drazzy now 1.6 seconds behind, doing a sterling job, and he wants to be in with a fight come the end of this race and pick up any pieces from the front two battling. As further down the order, Yanni Jans and Lorne quite close out on track, as well as Lambert and James. And yeah, I'm not sure why Aki has gone for the soft tyre. He's surely going to have to stop again.
Yeah, he will. He has got one more pit stop to go, just like everybody else does. They're definitely not going to the end. And if he does get them to the end, then I don't really know what award we can give him, but he deserves at least 4.
Oh, let's look at this, how close it is now. Under a quarter of a second as we come into Sector 3. Pez really going to make Ford sweat now. And are we going to see B Ford dive into the pits anytime soon? Surely they're going to go maybe onto the soft tyres, would you expect, Matt?
Yep, I think if they can, they'll be going to the softs. Pez definitely will. It's just about whether B Ford can get to that stage in the race. We saw D-Money, how far did he take his softs? About 10 laps? So we know they can go from about lap 18, you can put the softs on to the end. We'll see who does it. I should imagine it'll be going to the soft tyre. But Pez, right now, on this set of tyres, has the advantage, you'd have to say. He's looking very fast, and he's just under half a second away as we head towards the 2 DRS straights at this Yas Marina circuit.
Yeah, and Pez, you're going to have to fight him hard. Trying to maybe squeeze him on an apex over that curb, you know, maybe pick up a little warning. Make this race a bit more interesting, as here we go. Pez with the DRS down the first straight. Is he going to want to make the move now, or is he going to wait for the next straight to... Yeah, he is going to tuck back in, look for a better traction out of here. and make it stick as they head into sector 3. And yeah, again, DRS in effect. B4 going to cover the inside line, we'd expect.
He is going to cover that inside line. He's going to go late on the brakes though, Rich. And he is going to go dancing his way around the outside. Be careful not to touch it. And was that B4 over track limits there? It looked like it, but he didn't get a warning for it. So they will remain as they were, both having to use plenty of battery there, both now hovering around about 10-15%. And that's just allowed Drazzy to close up as well. He's nearly in DRS range of the guys ahead. And Maitland's left the session. Maitland, you are meant to be engineering Pez right now. How are you meant to do that if you're not in the session? You've let us down once today. Do not do it again.
Well, he already has. Just be gone with you. Be gone. As the B4 into pit lane, Matt.
He's boxed. We're going to see what tyres he goes for. Drazzy's gone in as well. This could be crucial. Undercut potentially coming here for Drazzy. Drazzy's gone mediums. B4 also mediums. Pez, stay out. Go for softs late on. Oh, yellow flags as Yanni Hans had a spin. That is on track. Yanni Hans has gone around. I don't know if he's broken his front wing, but he has been facing the wrong way. No safety car required though. He has got wing damage, and he's got to do a whole lap with that. Oh, okay, let's keep it calm now. Keep it together. Oh, he's gone.
That was a good save.
How has he held that? Fair play. But yeah, Tommy Real now ahead of front half. James and Lambert up ahead side by side. And they're going to go side by side on the run down the first of the two back straights. Who's got the DRS? I think it's Lucky Lambert who does, and that should just allow him to get ahead. But maybe it'll be James who fights back on the second of the two back straights. And both of these guys have got no ERS to play with.
Yeah, the rear lights flashing like a Christmas tree in the background there. Absolutely giving it everything.
Here comes James in the slipstream, and I think he's going to be close enough though to get the move done. And he will now tuck behind and into P8. See what's
about that time in the race. You want to start saving for your final push, your final charge. Excuse the pun. And yeah, Tommy 5 seconds off the lead.
Pez in the pits. Now this is going to be interesting because Pez had two things to weigh up. He could either extend and put softs on, or pit now because he had Drazzy potentially going to undercut him. He's boxed now. And I tell you what. It is the soft tyres going on. I think that's a good call. I reckon they will go to the end now. We saw D Money take them 10 laps. Now on the low fuel, those fresh softs should go to the end of the race. And the big one, where's Drazzy? Does he get the undercut on Pez? Because that's going to be crucial on this one. Drazzy, who put in the fastest final sector, is going to come out of pit lane ahead of CSR Pez.
And look how close Drazzy is to the race leader here. What a shift he's put in over that pit stop there. Must have really attacked it. Had a real good in and out lap. And Drazzy, credit where it's due, lad. Pat on the back. It's going to be a three-way scrap for the race win.
So we got B4 then, medium tyres and no penalties. Then Drazzy, medium tyres with one penalty, but looking like he's got good pace. And Pez, P4 with a penalty, but on the fresh, soft tyres. He's going to be so much faster than the guys ahead of him, especially early on. He'll be looking to get the moves done as quick as he can. That is for sure. He wants to save some battery as well for when he knows he can get the move done. Don't waste it trying to stay close. Your tyre advantage will allow you to do that.
Front half just making a position, moving up the order as we've got James flying down the inside. He's finally got it done, it seems, on Lucky Lambert. And good clean driving. Lucky Lambert trying to get back at him with the fresher tyre by 2 laps. Pez is flying. Look at him, he's all over the back of Drazzy already.
I seem to remember commentating on a race for HSA this season with a very similar train to this in the battle for the lead. And it was Maitland on that day who was really giving it everything, really pushing to take the win. He didn't do it, obviously, because it's Maitland. He doesn't win races, apart from when he did yesterday. And big up to Maitland for that. But look at Pez. He's on the charge. He's going for it. Go on, Pez. Got no battery left, though. He's in the D rates again, down to 3%. The guys ahead they'll have stuff to defend with, especially Drazzy, because Drazzy's also got DRS. The Pez is really just going to have to get his elbows out here, I think.
He's going to have to use the tyre advantage maybe in the braking zone and really send it and use that
Drazzy
late
gaining.
performance.
But Drazzy gaining, because he is... Oh, I thought he was going to send it there. I was like, go on, do it.
Can we
Push
see a
him
double
wide,
overtake
give
here
B4 a
maybe? Oh, good exit there for Pez. Drazzy's a bit vulnerable now.
And Drazzy just using that extra bit of VRS he's got to stay ahead here. And he is gaining on Mr. B4. He's looking to the outside. Couldn't get it done on that occasion. Look at Pez trying the different lines, just trying to get a better launch off one of these corners to maybe have a go here. As James has now cleared Tommy Real in the battle for P5. What can Pez do? Because he's right on the back.
Oh, they're still battling.
There, Drazzy.
Oh.
Oh, that's contact. The battle for P3. Pez just tapped the back of Drazzy there. And that's good sportsmanship from Pez to allow Drazzy to maintain the position. As they did touch there, it was definitely Pez's fault, just a little bit too late on the brakes, you'd have to say. Well, that has done, but Drazzy out of DRS range of P4.
Great scrap for P5. Tommy, James, Lucky Lambert and Fronhoff, and Tommy's just starting to pull away on those soft tyres as he's got ahead. But yeah, advantage B4 at this stage. Lawn needs to come into play for Drazzy now, and be a sort of wingman. 1.6 seconds behind Lawn is B4, and yeah, he's in a Mercedes sandwich, and they need to call that strategy into play now.
Go on, Lawn, push him off and give him another warning. I do not like this whole situation of B4 can just keep it clean and he'll win the race. Ron Half and Lambert side by side, coming onto the back straight. And it is looking like Thronhoff might just be able to take this one as they're both gaining on James. It's going to be like Schumacher, Hakkinen and Ricardo Zonta as it was back in the day. And this time it's Thronhoff who wins out. Lucky Lambert is surely going to slot into P7. We've still got James side by side with him. They're coming onto the second back straight now. It's going to be James who wins out on that occasion. Good stuff there for the Racing Point.
James is like on 1% ERS. His battery's about to blow up. And that will give Lambert another chance on the next straightaway. And out front, Drazzy's closed back up to B4 now.
Lawn's done his job, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Lawn has done the job.
So stay out,
going to stay out one more lap as well. Good stuff. Lawn will hold up the leader to help out his team. I'm guessing that as soon as B4 gets through, Lawn will allow Drazzy past and then box. Unless he's trying to go to the end. If Lawn's trying to go to the end, then we might... Could he be the race leader right now?
I mean, why not? He's got nothing to lose. He might as well. He might as
go
well
for
have
it.
gone in there.
He won't have much to defend with, but yeah, we'll see. He's got to take them another...
You would have boxed.
I'll take them another 6 laps, so... Should be an easy move though for B4 on the straight, you would imagine. Just with the DRS. Lawn, is he going to defend the inside? He should do.
Come on, defend. Squeeze him, squeeze him. Break
squeeze him,
late.
push him. Late braking for B4, late braking. Oh,
he's going to compromise his teammate now. Be careful. Jump out the way. Pez is
he has done nicely. Easy out the way. Pez is going to fly by as well. Unfortunately for Lawn, there wasn't really much he could do there in terms of splitting the Mercedes and the Red Bull. It was always going to be a case of if you let one by, the other one is going to go straight through. Lawn drops down to P4, and now we're back to our 3-way battle for the lead with 6 to go.
And if Lawn can hang on to the DRS here, it's going to be in a great place. Tommy Real further 8 seconds down the road, but on a fresh set of softs. But he does have a penalty to his name as well.
I'm calling it, Rich. This lap, someone's going to send it.
I'm calling it B4 to get a penalty. It's going to be decided on track. I hope. Sincerely hope.
That's what we're praying right now.
Lap 23 of 28 here in Yas Marina. B4 has led away from the start. There's not been much change throughout the Grand Prix. B4 went for the early undercut, and Pez has gone for the alternate strategy there and gone for the soft tyre late on, and they're so nip and tuck as they're coming up to the DRS zone now. And there's going to be a battle to the death here in Abu Dhabi. Who's going to get the best slingshot out of that hairpin? It looks like Pez has got good traction, but he's already derated now. As you can see, B4 up ahead of him as well. Drazzy's in a good spot here now to defend from Pez and maybe attack in these final few laps.
Hey, who else was derating there? B Ford. He's not got much battery left. That's going to help out Drazzy, who has now hit the button. He's using his overtake. He's using the DRS. Is he going to be close enough to make that send? He might just be a bit too far behind unless he wants to get really brave on the brakes. He does on the outside. Locks up. Don't touch here, boys. Got to be careful, and they have touched. And that's Drazzy gone out wide, and that's crucial because it allows Pez through and into P2.
Pez smells blood. He's going to have a look around the outside here. Don't go wheel to wheel through that corner, but Pez is not going to listen to it. He's going to go the long way round. My God, what an overtake we've just seen, Matt.
What a move for CSR Pez. He's up into the race lead, and he's now got 5 laps to build the gap. Has he got the life left in the soft tyres to run away with this one? We could also do with Drazzy. If Drazzy and B Ford get battling again, that's going to really help Pez because he can then break the DRS and just walk away with this one.
Drazzy was just weaving there to say, I did not appreciate that one, and there's not going to be too many favours for Drazzy this time. He's just going to absolutely send it, you feel.
Maximum send. It might be a maximum send from B Ford as well because he's going to be the one with the DRS. They're about even on battery that they can deploy, and let's see what they're going to do. B Ford's deploying it now, early on the first back straight.
Yeah, and he could really come unstuck if he doesn't get it done early enough here. He's gaining. Surely Pez is going to have the confidence under braking here.
He's just going to hold it around the outside. Is it maybe best, though, to have let B Ford go there? Because not only has he got the traction, B Ford will also get the DRS. Let's look to Drazzy as well, because he is massively gaining, and he's going to go for it on 1. Can he send it on B Ford as well? Surely not from there. He can't, but he's put himself back into P2. Or has he? Pez is hanging on in there. Be careful not to touch here, lads. And Pez has gone from P1 back down to P3.
This battery management, car management, so crucial. And even with the soft tyres on here, Pez just can't pull away. This is where you needed to be out in front, in through sector 3. That's where you can really make the time up on those soft tyres. But as they're approaching, 5 laps on this tyre compound, this is where the mediums are going to start to come into their own as well.
This is where it would be nice if B Ford picked up a penalty, because he can just keep it clean and he'll win no matter what. Go on, just run off track somewhere. Pick up another warning. We don't want to see races won on the penalties. We want to see them won on track, wheel to wheel. And in all fairness, B Ford right now is winning it on track. Fair play to him, but yeah. If Drazzy or Pez sends it, we want that to mean something.
Yeah, it'll just give extra motivation if they see that pop up on their screens. And yeah, ERS still very even. Lawn's still hanging on in there in P4. Front Tommy Real really making inroads now, 2.5 seconds behind him.
Have a look then. Anyone going to be close enough to send it in this battle for the lead? Not on the first of the back straights. And let's now wait as they come on to the second of them. And it looks like it's the McLaren who gets a very good launch off the corner. And that's just going to allow him to stay ahead, you would imagine, on this occasion. Drazzy tucking in behind. Pez just a bit too far back to have a go on this occasion. So we're going to then have 3 more times going down the 2 back straights for these guys to get it out and go side by side.
Yeah, on the launch of that second straight, Pez just used a bit too much curb there on the right-hander, and that compromised his exit as the back end got a bit loosey-goosey. And he's going to have to build. This is the time to really start saving. You've got the DRS, and if you're Drazzy or Pez, just recoup some of that energy. The leader has 13%. The cars behind slightly more as Drazzy is filling the mirrors of that McLaren up ahead of him. Here we go. A few laps left. Anyone's to pick from right now.
Final 3 laps of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Can Drazzy get this one done and put himself into the race lead? Can Pez get anything done? Do the soft tyres have anything left? B Ford definitely worse on the battery now than Drazzy. Pez, again, a little bit worse than Drazzy, but not as bad as B Ford. And just look how close Drazzy was getting through the hairpin. Can he have a go then on lap 26?
Yeah, this is not the spot to do it. This is a spot to spot your braking zone, get on the traction nicely. You can maybe dummy a little look to the inside there, make him think twice about it. And you
Oh,
can
he's gone
see,
deep.
yeah, this
Very deep.
Pez there as well, again clipping that curb. It's going to unsettle the car a little bit, but here comes Drazzy. This is your time to shine, boy, and he's going to go down the inside, and he's got the DRS, and Pez is lurking in the background as well. If there's going to be any mistakes, B4 is going to have a look back up the inside, locks up the tyres, and that is Drazzy into the race lead.
Oh, Pez nearly got hit the back there at B4 as he was braking early to get out of, so he didn't run into the back of the car ahead. But B4 definitely looks like he's got the pace in this one, as Tommy Real picked up another 3-second time penalty there. That should just allow Lorne to take the P4 in this one if he can get to the end on those medium tyres. I expect he will. But Pez has got to get his elbows out now. He knows if he wants any chance of winning this race, he not only has to clear B4, he has to hope he gets a time penalty. So maybe really, give him a little squeeze somewhere. And he's also got to clear Drazzy. So Pez really looking to get this one done as Tommy Reel's retired. Out the final corner.
Huge implications. A bit too late for a safety car, unfortunately. And sad to see, yeah. That exit curb just chewed him up and spat him out into the pit wall. Unlucky there, Tommy. He was battling with Lorne, just got past him, I do believe. And Spinala. That's on 6-lap-old soft tyres as well.
B Ford is going to do it on the first back straight by the looks of it. And go side by side into the chicane. Pez lurking in the background. He knows he's just got to capitalise here. Now looks like B4 wants to do over and under, gets a snap of oversteer though. That won't help his exit, but he is going to be close enough. And it's Drazzy who's first gone to the outside, now defends the inside, forces his rival to go the long way around. Who's going to go latest on the brakes? They're pretty even. Looks like Drazzy's going to have to back out on this occasion and just using a lot of curb, not picking up a penalty though, crucially. And B Ford back into the lead. Look at Pez, look at Pez, look at Pez. Don't do it, Pez. You'll get yourself killed. Going to have a look to go to the outside. He wants to get this done as soon as he can, just to be able to have a go at B Ford on the final lap as they approach that now.
We'll come down to the final lap, the final DRS zone, the final braking point, maybe the final corner. Let's just forget about the penalties right now. This is about pride for these drivers as B Ford comes across the line to start the final lap of the Grand Prix in the lead. Will he hold on to it by the end? Let us know your thoughts and opinions. I'm going to say this is going to be a Drazzy win on track.
We'll see. How much does Drazzy want to risk it as well, knowing that the car ahead will get him on penalties anyway? It's all going to be about risk versus reward. But if I know Drazzy, he's going to go for it. He'll make the send and he'll really put B Ford under all sorts of pressure. Gets a bit twitchy there on the exit of that one. I think Pez has just dropped back a bit. I think his soft tyres have died off now. Here we go then for Drazzy, gaining all the time on B Ford. Look at that again, he doesn't want to do it on the first straight. He's just so happy just to sit in behind.
B4 backing him up slightly on the apex. It's all going to be about the launch down this back straight. Who's going to have the biggest cojones when we come to the braking zone? B4 looks like he's just far enough in front. It's going to be a big send if Drazzy's going to do it. And yes, he's going to go for a big send. And B4 holds the line. And surely that's it done, but
yeah, but in hindsight, Drazzy should have gone for it when he was close enough. In the end, he just couldn't get the launch off of the chicane to have a go at B Ford. And that's going to allow B Ford to win this one on track as well as on penalties by the looks of it. Unless Drazzy wants to get really brave in the final sector. But given the penalty situation, there is really no point in doing so. So it will be B Ford looking to come round and win.
Been a fantastic race. He got pole position, he's kept it smooth, steady and clean, and he's going to take the checker flag to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. What a race from B Ford, what a race, what a comeback from Drazzy, and well done to Pez as well for staying in the hunt all the way to the death there. Front half's going to pick up P5 as Lorne just jumps him on penalties. A great result for Lorne, hanging it out there on a one-stop strategy. Lucky Lambert's going to round the final corner in P6, but he's going to get jumped by James, who's kept it squeaky clean as he comes to take that P6 from Lucky Lambert. D-Money as well on the one stop comes home P8, and then we're going to have Aki Ang in P9, and Yanni Jans, the final runner in P10, will pick up a point. So it just goes to show, just hang around, boys, and there's points on the table.
Oh, what a race. Good stuff there out at the front with a three-way battle all the way to the end for the win. But it was that man again, B Ford, who took the win.
I'll tell you what's just happened to Matt. He looks like he just fallen off his chair. But it's been that exciting, this Grand Prix. Who's your driver of the day? Do let us know.
Taking a tumble.
He's fallen off his perch.
Yeah. Who are you going for driver of the day?
I'm going to say Drazzy for me. Fantastic performance. A real outsider in that scrap for the lead. But really came back into it. And a great performance by him. He'd be my pick.
Yeah, I would go Drazzy, I think. It was a very solid drive from him. Lorne as well on that strategy. Really solid job making the one-stop work from P10 on the grid as well. I think he's definitely up there today.
So your final order for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. B4 takes the win from Drazzy, Pez, Lorne, front half, James, Lucky Lambert, D-Money, Aki and Yanni Jans. Our non-finishers today, Tommy Real with only a few laps to go, 3 laps from home, and in a strong position as well. Very sad to see. Was a non-finisher, as well as Vettel, who got caught up with Maitland. Them two were going at it. I'm not quite sure what happened there. We didn't quite catch it. I'm sure the stewards will look into that one. And Ludlow, who DNF'd quite early on in the Grand Prix. Real sad to see some excellent pace, and I think there could have been maybe 5 cars in with a chance of winning today if we hadn't seen the likes of James and Vettel spin early on, man.
Yeah, James obviously going around early on, Vettel around Maitland as well. Had he not bottled it like he normally does, because he's pretty hopeless like that, Maitland. I mean, what is he playing at? To give him some stern words in a moment. Oh, hi.
Hello.
You audio included? We're good to go?
Yeah, all good, all good.
Alright, congratulations on the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix victory, and what a battle we had there at the end. Three-way fight for the race win, and you did well to come out on top there. Talk us through your race.
Mental. Well, I got all right start, well, I'm not alright, I lost position. Pez managed to get me on the outside, unfortunately. But Matt did the undercut. I think Pez went 3 laps longer or something, which I was really surprised with. With sort of doing the 2-stop, obviously went on the soft later. Medium stint, last 4 laps, tyres just completely went. I lost all pace and all that. Bradley pit the same lap as me for second stop. From there, we just battled the whole way. It was, well, yeah, couldn't breathe really for 10 laps straight, so need to lie down.
We saw you as well keep it clean on the penalties. Were you prepared to just let cars go if you had to and just win it on penalties, or were you just desperate to win it on track?
Nah, I wanted it on track.
I respect that. Good job. We will take a move across to Drazzy. Have you got your audio included, sir?
Yep.
Yeah, congratulations on P2, a very well-deserved podium. We saw you challenging for the lead, but just couldn't quite come today. Talk us through your race.
Yes, I really wanted to win on track. Because this guy has won so many races. Deserved, obviously, not great, but yeah. I had a crash with Maitland the first lap. I left him plenty of space. I don't know what happened there. And then it was just following Rooney the whole time when he pits, I'll pit, because I know we had almost the exact same pace. So he went for the undercut, so I just followed him every single time, and I jumped in front of Pez that way. But it was a great battle, great ping-pong battle.
Anything you want to add, Rich?
Now, fantastic Grand Prix to watch throughout. Thanks for making it such a thoroughly entertaining race. Drazzy, big up yourself for coming back into that battle. I thought it was long gone. He's about 2.5 seconds behind the leaders. B Ford kept it smooth, steady, consistent, smashed it out the park, and extends his lead in the championship. Well done. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyable Grand Prix.
Fantastic stuff. We'll be back next week, same time, 4:30. For what have we got next week?
I think it's Australia. Isn't Imola next week as well? So it might change depending on that race. I haven't looked at the time yet.
Australia.
Australia. So not